What's up guys, Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. We're doing another Dishsoap VOD review today because my VOD review checker tool turned off when I went to work this morning, so I don't have any VODs. I actually have one VOD of a player I really want to VOD review. They are like an insanely interesting lol chest that are like tactics set tools, lol chest, whatever you want to call it. It's insanely interesting. The one game I have from them, they went fast 8th, so we're waiting still on a VOD. Maybe we can get a VOD for them tomorrow. Also, we can get a little Luna cam action. Luna sitting on my lap. So yeah, this is a Dishsoap game. I want to VOD review Dishsoap because he's very good at TFT in general, and because he does something this game that I think it's very, very smart. It's very, very smart, and I don't think a lot of people would have done. So we start off this game. We have kind of a mishmash of some openers. We have the Stebs, we have the Irelias and stuff, but like, I don't know. We don't have anything we're that excited about. We hold on to like the Draven pair here and the Vander pair and the Violet as well. And we get offered some okay options. I mean, Visionary Emblem without any Visionaries seems pretty dubious. So yeah, Prize Fighter in this spot. I mean, we don't have any 2 stars yet, so I don't think you're that excited about taking that either. So yeah, I don't think either of these are good options in Mr. Soapy's spot. And we do have a Wandering Trainer as an option, which gives you lots of opportunities to high roll. But this is what we hit here. We hit Family plus Bruiser, which is really interesting. For a few reasons. I mean, 1, we do actually have the 2-star Bruiser in the Steb. 2, we have a Violet and, a Vander pair in the spot, and a Draven, and a, Draven pair, Darius. We have a lot of stuff that leads into Family. I think so many people just from this spot would just say, okay, I have my Family emblem. I'm going to play Family from this spot. Dishsoap, on the other hand, he makes Steb 2. He says, well, I can play these 2 Family. I'd really like to get Draven on this board as well. Why not just level in this spot? Now, if you normally, like, if you see someone who is trying to play a Family reroll game, they would never do this. You're never going to level at 2-1 if you're trying to play Family, because you want to be low level for as long as possible. You want to, do your roll down on 3-1 with a bunch of econ and, hit all your Dravens, your Violets and stuff. So why did Dishsoap do this? Well, his idea is actually pretty interesting. We even hit the Vander 2 here, which is even better towards playing into Family. But Dishsoap in this spot says, you know what? Family's fine, but I don't have a Violet 2. I don't have anything that like screams that I want to play it. And honestly, my spot would be better if I just played something else, which is wild to me. But I mean, just shows that like, I don't know, TFT is a very interesting game. I love stuff like this that shows like this is one of the most interesting things to me, is figuring out when to just, not play lines when you realize that, Family is just not strong enough to play. You need like perfect slot spot to play Family, and why not just, especially in that spot, the value of leveling is really high. We get the Draven and that's damage onto our board. We end up hitting Draven 2. Now we actually have a really potentially very good board 2 win streak. He's actually going to slim the Morellos as well, which is another thing that's like, wow, like, if we had played Family, then the Sterak's option was definitely something that we could have looked at, but he makes the Morellos here. It's the best slam if we're going to play towards some kind of AD comp, because it gets rid of the Rod, gives us heal cut, so we're very happy with that, and then we have the Sword open to make other type of AD items. So it makes perfect sense if we are going to play, into some kind of AD comp, which, I mean, we basically have to at this point. But yeah, I mean, 1, I was just blown away by that idea to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna completely from Vander with all this stuff, I'm just gonna completely opt out of playing Family, and I'm gonna take the Cloak here, and you know what this is building into. This is gonna build into a BT. We can level in this spot, continue to try to keep our streak in. Obviously, the Darius is really good. Interesting as well that Dishsoap didn't want to play the Darius earlier on the board, but I mean, the idea is like, what are you gonna cut, right? We can't really cut 3 Family. We don't want to cut the Bruiser Steb 2, so we couldn't actually get it in, and we're just gonna make the BT to play strongest board here. We fight actually a pretty strong board here who has this crazy setup with the Steb 2, with Powder 2, with the Camille, with items, and yeah, oh my god, everyone actually just gets so low here. I mean, this is like Whis fight RNG, because we just left so many units so low. Like if we could have focus filed Camille, we would have killed her. The Edge of Night was actually like insane there in that fight, which is really rough. So we end up losing our streak, which is I mean, yeah, that's not it, but I mean, okay, at the end of the day, we still have pretty good item slam, but a lot of upgrades made, so we're on our way to getting to like a good comp, I would say. There's a lot of stuff we have on our way, and we have a pretty strong board is the big upside in this spot right here. Just quite tragic that we end up losing that fight, and I wonder if we'll actually lose another here. I guess we'll I guess we'll see. I mean, this Amumu is pretty tanky, and Lux is a broken unit. Okay, not enough. Lux 1 is not enough to win this fight. Maybe a Lux 2 world. And we are also going to sell off the pair of Rells there in order to make gold, which makes a lot of sense. So this is our spot. We have the step 2. And I mean, we have basically everything upgraded. We have the BT slammed. I will just say the very, very straightforward idea from this spot is to play an Enforcer game, which I mean, I think it makes sense with the fact that we have the step 2, the Bruiser +1 can kind of be used there. And I mean, this kind of goes into more of the idea of like, what's Dishsoap thinking in this spot? Well, family +1 is really nice in family reroll. But I mean, you know, it's also a solid +1 that you can use is Bruiser +1 if you're going to play into Enforcers. You know, you're going to get 2 Bruiser in, and yeah, he's going to actually start building up the board for Enforcers right now, which yeah, makes a lot of sense. He also moves these items over to the Vander here, which I mean, yeah, now we have the BT Titans, which are going to make fantastic items under the Violator. So we have a really good angle, but a very non-standard angle. You know, he was you know, there's a possibility of playing like Bruiser Twitch, but like you don't have the Bruiser +1 yet. You know, it's not something you can really be that excited about. So yeah, I just think so many people would have been taken astray. You know, they go for, I don't know, heavily smash, or they play they would play family +1 this game. But no, Dishsoap says, I know Enforcer Reroll is Enforcer as a comp is really strong. I have a decent spot for it. I'm just going to play towards it, which this is what, you know, great TFT players do. We're going to reroll heavily smash, of course. Portable Forge is actually an interesting idea. I mean, I like it a lot for just the possibility of getting a 3rd item onto Vander here. And yeah, we take the Triforce, itemize Vander. I just think this makes too much sense to not do in this spot, just because the 3rd item to Vander is so much tempo. But yeah, this is something that, I don't know, really good TFT players do, and something that I think, you know, goes, is often missed, I guess I would say, is just like deciding when, you know, a line is so good that you need to play it, or a line is not so good that you want to opt out of it. You know, just recognizing that Enforcers this game, I mean, Enforcers you can play from any spot. You don't need any kind of +1. You don't need any of that kind of stuff. Whereas like stuff like Twitch, you do really need the +1 to play into Twitch. You really need just an insane spot to play family, as it looks like what Dishsoap's thinking. Also really nice min-max there. We wait 1 round to get our Conqueror cash out, get the 2 gold, then pivot into the GP, because GP is just going to be a stronger unit on this board. It's just a very nice little optimization in that spot. So I love it. Also, you can't see Luna's little face with this positioning. I got to work on my positioning, but I mean, it's hard. Like, I want to be able to face to mic as well. But there you can see her little head. But okay, going into carousel here, we have basically Vi items done. We have like Last Whisper as a potential take here to get to some shred. Outside of that, we still have IE open as well to start itemizing towards other stuff. He's going to take tier here, actually. Ah, wow, that's actually very smart as well. I mean, I like this a lot. The idea being, we're pretty healthy, we're pretty strong here, we're pretty confident that we are going to make it long enough this game to get to a Caitlyn. Also looks like Luna wants to jump up. No, you don't have to go, Luna. Okay, don't just like, okay, you can sit up. Hey, what, for why? All I've done is pet you. Why do you attack me? But the tier here I actually love. We can find, you know, an IE or a Last Whisper. There's a lot of stuff we can build out of Glove. But if we take tier, there's actually good odds that we can make it to a blue buff this game, which I've talked about this a trillion times before. It is super best in slot Caitlyn, because you just get that really quick cast, and then you start blowing people up, which is all that Caitlyn cares about. So yeah, I think the tier here take is actually fantastic. And another thing that I think so few people would have gone for here, tier in this spot here, just to play for BIS. And I mean, we're still winning fights, right? We still kind of get a slam in that we're scrapping this glove, so we're still getting stuff like Last Whisper in these fights, and then we keep ourselves open to, you know, potentially getting BIS Caitlyn, which is just so smart. So this is actually a pretty scary fight, though. Still the Lux one, man. This Lux unit, I'm so just, I don't understand how this unit, it has dodge nerfs for so long. The powder actually clutches it out there, and the Vander did so much work there. So that continues our 6 streak. I mean, had we played family this game, can you say that we would be 6 streaking in this spot, that we would have such a good spot? Like, it's such a cool line selection from Dishsoap, which is something that I think a lot of people take for granted. Like, it's just like, can you really say in this game that you would have decided to play this comp? I don't know. Okay. In any case, where we are, I don't really feel that good about leveling here, but definitely, you know, next round we get the blue, we get perfectly rewarded, by the way. We still get IE, but we also get the blue buff. Like, it's actually beautiful. Just like this beautiful little cat. I wish you could see her little face staring up at me that's being blocked by the nice Shure MV7, but sadly you cannot see her face, but that's okay. She looks very cute, I'll tell you that. We finally lose a fight. We're going to go into our last augment here. We don't actually have high odds of hitting like Enforcer +1. And yeah, a lot of these options look pretty bad. But look at that. The second Dishsoap sees Martial Law. This is probably the best single augment we can get in this spot. Guarantees us the Caitlyn for us to play around, and we have BIS for her. We can get to play the Ambessa on this board here and just roll down for the 6 Enforcer board. And you can see it. It's just a full pivot out of the comp that we were playing. We're just using Bruiser +1. We have so many pairs here that Dishsoap is going to make the call to roll down here. And we had an Ambessa 2 on the roll down blue buff, i.e. going to go onto the Caitlyn here, the Rod going to get reforged here, triple item going to go onto Ambessa, and the Morello going to go onto Caitlyn as well because she spreads it really, really nicely. I mean, look at this spot. It's so good. Sadly, we lost our streak. Honestly, if we had kept our streak last round, our spot would have been even more insane because we would have just like won out from this spot. But also, like, we have the Ambessa 2. We don't have that many upgrades past this, but I mean, at this amount of HP with Ambessa 2, it really looks like we can just turn this into a fast 9. We hit Ambessa 2 and just use this to catapult us there. We don't have that many big pairs to look for. You know, we have the Alawi pair, but I mean, the units that we hit are the units that are being itemized, and the units that our augment are playing for, which, I mean, that's just good TFT. Put items on units that are doing a lot, and you will have a good go at it. But all right, going into Carousel here, we still have no armor shred, right? So Even Shroud is a potential take here. He's gonna take the bow, interestingly enough. Not sure what this is for, actually. I'm curious to see where it goes from here. We do pick up another pair here, but I don't know. I'm still not that. I mean, I guess the idea is we're just gonna itemize Vi, and who really cares about armor shred? Like, this is for Titans, and like we could itemize her. I mean, it's a 6 Enforcer Vi. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have angled Even Shroud here, but I think he just cares more about itemizing the Vi than he does care about you know, getting to armor shred here. Maybe the thought is that armor shred doesn't matter that much in this spot, or maybe there's there's not another way we're gonna get to it, but you know, okay. We do end up actually losing a fight here, but still 72 HP. What is this lobby, by the way? 3 people are dead. All right, let's actually look at Anomaly here. I did see one that really piqued my interest. I mean, yeah, a lot of these pretty not great, but dual wielding here, I think this makes a lot of sense. We are in a spot here where like we could, ooh, he's thinking about dual wielding. I mean, I feel like you just take, no, he's, wow. Oh, and you get super rewarded for it here. So, I mean, that's actually, that's a really hard round because dual wielding, obviously, you could take an item. I'm surprised it was like in Caitlyn. I thought we were just going to take items for Vi and then just have triple item buy, because we're a little bit far off of that. But I mean, the more that I think about it, the more I like rolling past it. And I think this makes so much sense from Dishsoap because there's not that much power in this board concentrated in our Vi. We already have a 2-star Ambessa and this Caitlyn to play around. So why do we need to play for a trio carry? Wouldn't we much rather take an augment that's going to buff up our units that we care about, our Caitlyn and our Ambessa? And so we roll, we end up hitting Infectious Anomaly here. And this is also going to buff up our entire board, but you know, particularly, it'll give a bunch of AD and AP to Caitlyn and Ambessa, which is huge here. And look at this, 45 gold here. We are on our way to 9. We do have Vi pair now, but I mean, she's still not, you know, she's never going to be super itemized. There is the LW there, which I have to imagine is going to be the take, and then move items off Caitlyn. Like Morello moves off of Caitlyn onto Twisted Fate. And then we just get Edge of Night here for the Vi. Really? The Morello Vi? Oh, BT? Okay, BT. I mean, yeah, both seem quite good. And then the Chain Vest is going to be not scrapped because we don't have scrap in. Also, this I like this version of the board. You fit the Rel onto the board for Conquer, which just, yeah, makes the traits look very, very pretty. And also, you know, Conquer, not bad for a Rel. So I think this makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I don't know what happened. This lobby everyone's so low. The fast 9 comes out really fast 9, honestly. In this spot, we pick up the GP2, who fills out the traits again decently. I mean, you know, he's Pit Fighter on this board, I guess, which is pretty cool. We don't have a scrap in or anything like that, or a form swapper, but I mean, I guess, he's a Pit Fighter. He's pretty good. He's definitely better than the Savika 1 that we were looking at, just because 2-star units tend to be pretty good in TFT. So, I mean, this is going to be our board for now. We still have a lot of stuff. Well, not so much stuff, but we have stuff left to hit. We have the Vi 2 to hit. I guess also just thinking about, like, this shows, like, this is such a good example of just putting items, all the same items on one unit by any means necessary. Like, I don't know. I was definitely looking at the Morelos TF because, you know, he's a backline unit. He spreads it pretty nicely with his red card. But we actually go for the Morelos on the Vi just because we want stats on the Vi. Like, stats on the Vi are important. I mean, she also kind of, she does have AoE as well. So I don't know. There's a lot of reasons to think about it. Also, oh man, we could have got to 5 family. I mean, it would have been 5-5, but we could have got to 5 family. There's the Adaptive Helm here, which probably is well going to end up going onto the Vi. This is obviously Caitlyn pair as well, which is really big. So now our our value of rolling is just insanely high here. We're actually 5 pairs sitting here, which is pretty hilarious, but I'm just chilling, hoping to find the Caitlyn too to allow us to cap out high. And we do so much HP. Just playing a strong early game with this Infectious Anomaly is so good because it guarantees that we're going to last long enough to start to get this Infectious Anomaly spreading. The only time an Infectious Anomaly is not good is when you start losing fights. Also, someone asked me about this in my Discord. I did actually a coaching session. Also, what a fantastic shop there. And yeah, actually going to pivot into the Rumble here. Get Scrap in. Obviously, we lose the trait for Mbessa, the Conqueror, but I mean, we get a much better unit in, and we get Scrap onto this GP, which is nice. And then eventually maybe we could even scrap Rumble if we find Rumble too. But yeah, much better unit. I think this makes perfect sense. But I coached someone who took Infectious Anomaly with the augment that says when your Anomaly unit kills a unit, you farm gold. Obviously, and it works. Now, it's not, insane in that way. Ooh, this is a nice little pivot as well. These items are so much better on Vi. These tiny little optimizations, but they're so big here. Titan's just a much better item on Vi in general, because she's taking much more of the brunt of aggro, whereas Mbessa is kind of like I don't know, not really a backliner, but like almost a backliner in a lot of these ways. So we're gonna move some weird items over to Mbessa. Now do we move the Morello to TF? Yeah, I think this makes perfect sense. And we do actually split items here. The adaptive onto TF, the idea being we want to get this Morello casting faster. I think it's beautiful. I mean, I think it makes perfect sense. Also, yeah, once again, I mean, this lobby is so low. But yeah, obviously that augment anomaly combination, it's not like multiple units can kill one unit, but it does mean that every time you kill a unit, any unit that has the anomaly, which ends up being your entire board, can get credit, which is it's pretty cool. It was farming a lot of gold. It's a fun little combination. They'll probably, I don't know, I wonder if they'll take it out of the game, just because it does seem like something that they would think would be crazy, but I don't know what the win rate on it is or anything like that. Wow, beautiful swap on the Caitlyn here to avoid the Elise. Only downside is our LW is kind of in Narnia, but I mean, Caitlyn has AoE. She's hitting a lot of the board, so yeah, beautiful quick swap there on Upset Max. Honestly, Dishsoap might make this VOD review over really quick. We're only at 17 minutes. I mean, it's the middle of stage 6. I mean, the Upset Max could be dead before stage 7 if he doesn't pick up a fight. This is the Sork Black Rose comp that I think a lot of people have been getting more into, is just play vertical Sork and then, Black Rose. Here we have a Sork +1, so we can actually fit 6 and 5, which is nice. And they have a LeBlanc as well, but I mean, Dishsoap's board is just doing so nicely. Just so many perfect items, good augments, good tempo. Even though his first augment really, is not doing all that much here, it's still quite good. Also, is that a spat that we can pick up on Carousel here? Oh my god. With the Chain Vest open, I mean, now we just have to roll down for a Camille, and we pick it up. That's 8 Enforcer. Oh man, it's just too insane, man. He moves the Enforcer emblem over to the Mbessa here, gets the Rumble back in, and I mean, this is our board, and it is disgusting. I mean, 8 Enforcer should easily be enough to close out this game. We were winning before this, and now I want to actually go back and see something really quick. Because if Dishsoap did this, he's a super beast here. I mean, I wonder if he ever thought about that, because remember this round, right? He made BT over Edge of Night. Maybe he just thinks BT is better, but Edge of Night, not making Edge of Night did leave the Chain Vest open, which allowed him to get to Enforcer Emblem later. I don't know if he tie broke this in his head. If he did, Dishsoap's the absolute beast. Either way, it ended up working out. But yeah, I mean, that's just a cool little, you can always think about like leaving a component open that builds nicely with a spat, and he left the chain open that it ended up building Enforcer Emblem. Shows just little decisions that TFT can change so much. But all right, that is the end of the video. Luna, do you want to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye to the camera up here? All right, Luna says goodbye, everybody. Luna says like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Metafy, and all my other links down below. And she says, oh, she's shy. And she says, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys. She might not see you in the next one, but I will. All right. Bye.